Hi everyone. In today's tutorial, we are going to cover potential points and we are going to cover also charms. So if you like this content, please subscribe. If you have any question, please put it in the bottom and let's start with the video. To understand potential points, we have to understand charms. Charms are some kind of amulets that you equip into your Axie cards. These amulets give some kind of effect to that card. So depending on the amulet you use, you give a different effect. For example, if we equip this charm, we can give 4 HP, right, to the Axie. Or we can put this charm to a non-multi-hit attack card, right, and it will give +2 attack to that card in particular. Charms also have a cost. That cost is this number that appears right here. And that cost change depending on the rarity of the charm. So we have rarity. We have common charms, rare charms, we have epic charms, and we have mystic charms. Depending on the cost and the rarity, charms also give more stats and are more powerful. So for example, when we have 3 cost charms, we have 12 speed and 7 attack more, right? So they got better and more powerful. So they also can give some effects. For example, most expensive charms also give things like this card attacks the furthest enemy, right? So it goes to the last Axie or to the last enemy of the other team every time you use that card. Or that card can target any enemy, right? Or you cannot retain. That means that your card is not going to be discarded at the end of the turn, right? We also have class charms. Class charms are particular to a class, and these charms provide more powerful effects than neutral charms and also provide things that are particular to that class. For example, if we have bees, we have a charm that gives rise, right? But we also have a charm that instead of 7 gives 10 attack for the same potential cost. So the rule of thumb is we have charms that are more powerful in classes than they are in the neutral, right? We also have some particular things that like vanish or ethereal. We might have these charms also in neutral, but they are cheaper here, right? And we have some particular effects like bleed that beasts could benefit of, right? So every class has its own identity. If we go, for example, to birds, they put feathers. If we go to aquatics, they put bubbles. If we go to reptiles, they apply poison. Every class has its own identity according to the season. So for this season, the beast has attack and HP, but reptiles are heal and HP, so they tend to recover. For example, aquatic axis, aquas, have HP and attack, and for example, bugs, attack and chill, right? This can change from season to season, so we must be aware that of that identity of axis could change. We also have things that we should consider, and is that there are going to be effects that are not going to be repeated. For example, bugs are the only ones that have drop in a charm right now. And we also are going to see things like plants are the only ones that cleanse negative status effect on axis. So we should have that also in the account. Another thing that we should consider besides amulets is Potential points. Potential points change from axis to axis. So this is more than like a neutral axis, and we have like 4 points for plant, 2 points for bug, 1 point for reptile, and 1 point for bird. So how we know how much potential points our axis have? And we know, for example, we have this that is a plant car, this that is a plant car, and we also have our body. So we have 3 parts in total. 3 parts give us 4 points, right? For example, if we have only 2 cars, we have only 2 points, and we have 1, we have only 1, right? So we have here 2 bug cars, 2 points. We have here 1 reptile car, 1 point, and 1 bird car, only 1 point, right? One thing to consider is that if we have the more pure axis, we have more potential points. So for example, this is an aqua axis, and we have 6 parts, including the body. So we have 12 potential points, and only 1 card for bird, so only 1 potential point. So the more potential point we have, we can use more powerful charms. For example, I'm going to keep this charm, and you can see that we have used 5 potential points, and we have 7 potential point left to be used. So one recommendation that I give is when you are going to have axes, don't have axes that have less than 9 potential points. That is because you are reducing the way you can configure your axis and the way you can do a particular strategy to win the game. So take into account that less than 9 points is usually not good. So another thing to have into account is that if you go to Google and put potential point chart axis infinity, you are going to see something like this, right? So the more parts that you have in an axis, the more purity bonus are you going to have. So if you have 1 point, you have 0, but you have 2, you have 0, right? But you have 3 parts of the same class, you are going to have 4 points, right? If you have 4 parts, you are going to have more points, 6. If you have 5 parts, you are going to have more points, 4, so 9 in total, right? So if we have 6 parts, we have 6 potential points. So we have 12, and if we have a pure axis, we have 15 potential points. So 7 plus 8. So going back to the ability to put your charms, it's pretty important that you keep an eye not going below 9. Because if you can put, for example, 2 max of frenzy, you can gain fury, right? And you can gain rage, sorry, you can gain rage. And if you gain rage, you can get easier to fury form. And if this axis didn't have those points, I could equip only 1 mask, and 1 mask will leave me with only 1 card per this axis to go to fury form, so that is not so good. So take that into account because it's pretty important. So with this, we finish this video. I hope that you like this content. If you like it, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and see you in the next video, guys.